The night air of the frontier world of Kaler was heavy with smoke and desperation. Out on its battered trade routes, deals were made every day, most of them cruel, many of them criminal. I had seen my share as a drifter, a human scavenger making a living among the stars. But that evening, when I came upon a dimly lit market stall in the shadow of the ruined wall, something cut deeper than usual. Two alien sisters, thin, hard-eyed, their scales dull with hunger, were haggling with a caravan guard. In front of them stood a girl no older than 15, her wrists bound with twine. Her eyes were enormous, the color of liquid silver, and they darted between the faces around her like a trapped bird looking for escape. "She's strong enough to clean," one sister muttered. "She can fetch water, carry grain. We'll take the sack of rations, and nothing less." The guard sneered but tossed down a canvas bag. It thumped against the cracked stones, smelling faintly of dried fish and nutrient bars. The girl tried to speak, but one of her sisters shoved her roughly forward. "You'll live. Be useful. That's more than we ever had." I don't know what drove me to step in. Maybe pity, maybe anger, maybe something else entirely. But before the guard's hand could close around her arm, I said, "I'll take her." The sisters turned, startled, and looked me up and down. A ragged human. Scars on his cheek, a scavenger's pack slung over his shoulder. Hardly impressive. "You," the older one sneered. "What will you give?" I glanced at the sack. "I'll give you the same rations. But she comes with me. Tonight." They hesitated. Food was everything out here. After a brief, muttered argument, they pushed the sack toward me and walked off without looking back. The girl didn't call out to them. She just stared, eyes wide, trembling as I untied her wrists. "Come on," I said gently. "You're safe now." A child of ashes. Her name was Leora. For days after I brought her to my camp on the edge of dunes, she hardly spoke. She slept curled on the ground, always with her hands clenched, as if she feared I would bind them again. She flinched at sudden movements, avoided firelight, and ate in silence. But slowly, as the nights passed, I learned pieces of her story. Her people had been traders once, traveling between colonies. After their caravan was raided, her sisters had chosen survival over loyalty. They sold her to secure food, justifying it as a necessity. Leora never forgave them. "I wasn't worth keeping," she whispered one evening, staring into the embers. I shook my head. They were wrong. That's on them, not you. She blinked at me, as if weighing whether she could believe such words. Building trust. Trust is not something you demand. It's something you earn. Each day, I gave Leora small tasks, fetching water, sorting scrap, tending the fire. At first, she worked mechanically, expecting punishment if she faltered. But when I thanked her, her silver eyes widened in confusion, then softened with something fragile. Hope. At night, she refused to take the bedroll. I tried insisting, but she would only shake her head and curl up near the door of the tent. "It's better if I stay low," she murmured once. "That way, if someone comes, I won't be taken first." It broke me to hear it, so I stopped arguing. She slept at my feet, and in time, it became her place of safety. The threat returns. Life on Kaler was never peaceful for long. Word spread quickly in the frontier markets, and before long, the caravan guard who tried to buy Leora appeared at my camp with 3 armed men. "She belongs to us," he growled. "You stole property. Give her back, or we take her." I stood between them and Leora. My pulse thundered in my ears, but I tightened my grip on my blaster. "She's no one's property," I said. The guard laughed. "Big words for a scavenger. Do you even know what she's worth? That bloodline of hers. There are buyers who trade a ship for it." I didn't look back, but I felt Leora's fear radiating like heat. I leveled the blaster. "If you want her, you'll have to come through me." Maybe they saw the fire in my eyes. Maybe they weren't being paid enough. Whatever the reason, they left that night. But I knew they'd be back. A bond forged in fire. The attack changed things between Leora and me. She no longer saw me as just her rescuer. She began to trust me as her protector. She sat closer by the fire, asked questions about humans, even laughed quietly at my clumsy attempts to repair an old cooking unit. One night, As the stars burned bright above the dunes, she whispered, "Why did you take me that night? You could have walked away." I thought for a long moment. Because no one deserves to be abandoned. Not by strangers, and especially not by family. Her eyes shimmered. She didn't answer, but she shifted closer, resting her head lightly against my knee. From then on, she wasn't just surviving. She was healing. 20 years later, time reshaped everything. Kaler grew from a wasteland into a thriving outpost as trade routes stabilized. I grew older, my beard streaked with gray, my hands more scarred from years of work. And Leora became something extraordinary. The girl who once slept at my feet rose to lead her people. She sought out others who had been sold, abandoned, or broken, and she built them into a clan. Her voice carried authority. Her silver eyes shone with conviction. They followed her not out of fear, but out of devotion. I still remember the day she returned after years away. My camp had grown quiet, the fires dim. I was mending an old pack when I heard the sound. Dozens, then hundreds of feet approaching. I stepped outside, and there she was. Leora stood at the head of a procession, thousands strong. Banners fluttered, weapons gleamed, and the air thrummed with the unity of a people reborn. She wore ceremonial armor, silver and blue, but her gaze softened when it found me. "Do you see, old one?" she called, smiling. "You gave me freedom. Now I return with a people who owe you everything." I could only stare. "You built all this?" Her eyes glistened. "You once told me no one deserves to be abandoned. I believed you, and I swore I would never abandon anyone again." She knelt then, the mighty queen lowering herself before the weary scavenger who had once saved her. Thousands of voices followed, a chorus of loyalty that shook the air. And in that moment, I realized the truth. My small act of kindness had changed not just one life, but an entire world. Epilogue. That night, as the clan camped around me, I sat by the fire, older bones aching but heart full. Leora entered quietly, her armor set aside, her presence still carrying the echo of the girl I had first freed. She settled at my side and, as she had once done long ago, rested near my feet. "You don't need to do that anymore," I said softly. Her smile was gentle. "I know, but it reminds me of where I began and of the one who gave me the chance to stand." The stars burned above, eternal witnesses to a bond forged in ashes, betrayal, and love deeper than blood. And as sleep claimed me, I knew one truth would outlast even time itself. Her sisters had sold her for a sack of rations. But in finding her, I had gained a daughter, a friend, and a queen who now carried a people into the future.